Hi, I'm Dino Don, and welcome to the exhibition. Today, if you survive, you're going to see the biggest dinosaurs that ever lived. And you're going to learn a little about how they got to be that way. Much bigger than my friend here. I go dig dinosaurs all over the world, and you'll see one of those bones right in front of you. My daughter actually dug that up when she was 10. That's the backbone of an Argentinosaurus, the biggest animal that ever walked the earth. You can imagine, feel the back of your spine right here. You'll see that one of your backbones is about the size of maybe a quarter if you're an old guy like me, maybe a dime if you're a kid. But if you're an Argentinosaurus, that bone is 5 feet high and 5 feet wide, the biggest bone in the world. Why? Well, because that animal was the size of a building. It weighed as much as 50 elephants. So how do animals get that big and stay that way? Well, that's what you're going to learn here. There are three important things to take away from this exhibition. Three. And the first one is that dinosaurs lived for a very long time. 150 million years, or even more. But that's a hard number to really digest. So let me use a sample to show you. If you think about the Earth being 6 billion years old, imagine that the planet begins at the bottom of my foot. So where did dinosaurs come in? Well, hold your horses here. To begin with, life had to start, and that started in the ocean. And the first living things show up somewhere around my knee, and they're microscopic. The first sizable animal, an animal as big as your thumb, still living only in the ocean, nothing coming up on land. That's here, in my armpit. Not a good place to live. When you want to get on land, think about amphibians, things that could swim and climb up on land. They do that somewhere around my neck. So, where are dinosaurs? Right here. So when we dig for dinosaurs, don't do that. Dinosaurs start here. That's 228 million years ago. And of course, they went extinct. Where does that happen? Not till here, right in the middle of my forehead. That's the time that dinosaurs lived. Doesn't look like a lot, but think for a minute about our history. Humans, where do we start? Well, take a split end here. You can't even see all of human history. So compared to us, the time that humans have been on Earth, this is a long time. That makes dinosaurs a big success. The second thing you'll learn in this exhibit is that the biggest dinosaurs were the biggest successes. Cousins of this fella, but a lot bigger. And why they were successes is the subject of new and very exciting research. There are a couple of ways that you can become that big. And when I say big, we're talking about animals 10 times bigger than T-Rex. That's 10 times bigger than any other animal that ever walked the planet. To do that, you have to have a lot of special adaptations. One of them is to have 4 thick legs. Another is to have an enormous heart. You've got to pump blood, after all, as high as a 6-story building. Then you've got to be able to circulate that blood through your body. And if you want to do that, it helps to have socks. Dinosaurs didn't. So instead of squeezing the blood that way, they did it with tight skin. Another way to learn to be big, you need holes in your bones to keep them strong but not too heavy. So dinosaurs had spongy bones. And the biggest trick of all is to have a tiny head. No offense. The biggest dinosaurs, they're 1,000 times bigger than you, but their brains are the size of 2 ping pong balls. It doesn't mean they're dumb as donuts. It means that they were adapted to their environment. And most important, in order to get all that food down, they needed to have a tiny head. Because with a big head, like a T-Rex, you have to have huge muscles. And no animal can sustain all that weight at a size bigger than about 40 feet long, the size of a T-Rex. But if you want to be 100 feet long and 10 times as heavy, get rid of that big head. All this guy does is shovel the food down, snip it off, send it down to the big vat of his stomach, and that's where the digestion goes on. So remember, if you want to get really big, get a teeny head. And now we come to the sad part. So long, Barney. 65 million years ago, dinosaurs bit the dust. How did it happen? Well, scientists have come up with more than 100 theories, ranging from constipation to acid rain. Remember, it might take more than one bullet to take out the dinosaurs. So things like gradual climate change, volcanoes, even disease may have been factors. But number one, that's the asteroid. A huge rock from space, 10 miles wide, strikes the Gulf of Mexico, sends up huge clouds of smoke and ash, changes the temperature, kills off half the living things, plants and dinosaurs. But here's some good news. The dinosaurs aren't extinct. That's lesson number 3. Dinosaurs are alive. Every time you hear a bird fly by, every time you hear a chirp, every time you eat a McNugget, that's a dinosaur. The little meat-eating dinosaurs, they didn't die. They evolved into birds.